On our daughter's 5th birthday party, Julian Vance lost 3 consecutive rounds of Truth or Dare. His first love, Haley Bennett, smiled and proposed the penalty. Since you lost, I dare you to call the hospital and cancel Lily's kidney transplant tomorrow. The cheerful chatter in the room died instantly. Julian frowned, a flicker of displeasure crossing his face. Haley, my daughter has been on the transplant waiting list for 3 years. Haley's eyes immediately welled with tears. Back then, I lost my womb to drag you out of that car wreck. You promised me you'd take me to see the snowy peaks of Aspen tomorrow. I genuinely believed Julian would never gamble with his own daughter's life. But that night, he personally handed me a glass of milk spiked with sleeping pills. When I finally opened my eyes, it was already noon the next day. Seeing dozens of missed calls from the hospital, my hands shook as I dialed back. The nurse's voice came through, filled with heavy hesitation. Mrs. Vance, the surgery. Mr. Vance canceled Lily's transplant last night. I held the phone, my ears ringing with a deafening buzz. The nurse spoke urgently. The cold ischemia time for a donor kidney is extremely limited. We couldn't reach you, and Mr. Vance, as her legal guardian, formally canceled the procedure. At 4 in the morning, the transplant network reassigned the kidney to another pediatric patient. A freezing cold swept through my entire body. Who got it? The nurse fell silent for a moment. Another child. The transplant has already been completed. That kidney saved another life. I couldn't bring myself to blame that child. But my Lily had been undergoing dialysis 3 times a week just to survive until this day. The dialysis poured on her little arm had swollen into a bruised, purple bump. She couldn't touch it during baths, and she had to sleep in one stiff position every night. Last night, before blowing out her candles, she had whispered in my ear, "Mommy, after I get my new kidney, can I finally go to preschool like the other kids?" I had nodded, and she had jumped around me, squealing with pure joy. The nurse's panicked voice pulled me back. "Mrs. Vance, Lily started running a high fever and vomiting early this morning. Her dialysis catheter is severely clogged, and she's currently in the ICU being resuscitated." The phone slipped from my palm, clattering to the floor. I rushed out of the bedroom barefoot. On the nightstand sat the half-empty glass of milk from last night. At the bottom lay a layer of undissolved white powder. My stomach churned violently. I had trusted Julian. I thought he would never play with our daughter's life. But he had drugged me so we would miss the kidney we had waited 3 years for. The driver drove like a maniac. I dialed Julian's number over and over, but it went straight to voicemail. Just as the car pulled into the hospital parking lot, a picture message popped up on my phone. It was a shot of the Aspen Mountains, bathed in the golden morning light. Haley was wearing a white puffer jacket, leaning her head on Julian's shoulder. "Haley's emotionally unstable right now. I'll come back as soon as I show her the snow. The surgery is just postponed. She'll be fine." My fingers shook so hard I could barely hold the screen. The kidney is gone. They gave it to someone else. Minutes passed. He didn't reply. Outside the ICU, I grabbed a passing nurse's arm. "Where's Lily?" The nurse's eyes were red. The catheter infection triggered acute peritonitis. She just went into septic shock. Through the glass window of the ICU door, I saw my little girl lying in the center of the sterile bed. She was swallowed by tubes and wires. The cardboard birthday crown she wore yesterday was now stuffed inside a plastic bag, crushed beneath her tiny backpack. Lily was born with renal hypo